Okay, good morning everyone. So in the last tutorial we have already finished the setting of the material. Not a complete one, but pretty much finished. You can adjust the detail by yourself. So now let's talk about the light setting inside Blend Simlab. So first things, as far as you can see here on our left side panel, there is an environment icon. So what's that mean? Basically, for the environment lighting, you can do the adjustment right here. Just click this button, these sound icons, and there will be an environment property came out on the right side panel. And usually for Simlab, we will use an HDR map to do the environment lighting. And inside Simlab, we also have some environment lighting material we can use. So for example, let's go to the library and you can go to HDR setting and you can find the one you like. Or if you remember, we can go to the internet and go to Polyheaven. And Polyheaven provides a lot of free HDR map which you can use. So you can just download the one you like. So now let's go to here. I don't want to use in the default the library HDR inside Simlab. So I'd like to use my own. How can we do that? Click this button and you can select from disk. That's choosing the one you want to use. So I'd like to go to probably some project which I made before and choosing maybe this one. Okay, so basically for now, as far as I can see, the preview icon changed the image. So which means for now you have already finished the change for the HDR. And also you can change the brightness and also the direction of the VR map, HDR map. Because HDRI map is just like a cylinder, it's just like a half spherical map. And it has a specific direction and you can change that so that the shadow and the light will be different. And I'd like to increase the number of the brightness because this one looks a little bit blooming and cloudy. So I think I'd like to change this one, probably into 5. Okay. And also the second part is about the sound. You can choose enable the sound or disable the sound. If you disable the sound, which means you only using HDRI for lighting your environment. So usually I would turn on this one, and I'd like to change the color into white color so it looks more naturally. And also you can choose whether you want to show up the sun or not. And if you show, you can choose a render solar disk, so, which means in your VR scene, the sun will show up. But if you don't, it will just using the HDRI map, the sun in HDRI map. Alright, so I will keep it like this, and you can choose in some default setting right here. So if you want to have a morning sun or before noon sun, you can just click the button and you will automatically switch the setting the to the sound setting right here. I think probably new sound will looks better and the Abado, well, just keep it like this. For the ground and the ground shadow. So if you want to create a ground inside Simlab, for now I didn't do that because right now I already have a ground plan. But if you want to have some ground reflection or ground shadow, you can check these two buttons. So it will create a shadow for you. Background. So basically just about image. Usually I will not do that because we are working in a VR environment. So if you do that, it will look pretty fake unless you can create some nice background image. Otherwise, usually I don't want to do that. So basically it's about environment setting. You can just click here and go to the property panel to change the environment light setting. And how about the VR view? So basically, for a VR view, it's about some simple setting when you about the things you will meet when you are navigating in the VR view. So for example, like in Apple Fog. So basically, if you once you check this one, it will create a environment fog for you. So it's like blurring the border of your model scene. So usually I like to use this one. And about the focal length, that's about the camera of your character. Usually the default setting is around 65, but if you want a wider view, usually I would suggest you guys probably set to 35 would be quite enough. Shadow quality and also the light quality, I think that's about the rendering quality. So you can choose in, if your laptop is powerful enough, you can choose in high or maybe even better. Okay, and in Apple VR Flying, okay, that's very important for you to know. Usually when we are navigate, it will using make the character walk. So which means you have to set up some kind of staircase or escalator to help your character to move. But if you choosing in Apple VR Flying, so your character can fly inside this view. So it doesn't restrict it by the gravity anymore, but it will do some kind of somehow the real effect, a real feeling for when you are experiencing this environment. So I will suggest you not use this one. Okay, so anyway, that's about the environment lighting. So let's go to the overall view right here, choosing all of them, click the button so that you can zoom out to the entire model. Alright, so next part, let's talk about how to create the light inside the interior space. So the things we did basically is more about the exterior. So including the HDR, including the sun, and also the background, and also the VR setting. It's all about the exterior lighting. So it will create environment lighting for our model. So basically light up everywhere. But for interior, for sure, they're supposed to be have some kind of spotlight or area light or another different type of light. So let's go to here, light, and create the light you want. Usually, for this model, I like to create spotlight for every sky window. So let's click here, and you can go to the top view, and let's go to the light and choosing spotlight. So once you create, it will show up right here, and we can use in this icon to control the position. So, and next part is all the power, and let's go to the power and the intensity of the light. You can go to the right side panel to change that. So for every light, I think it's supposed to be around 6,000. And the light color, I will keep like this. But for the cone angle, I want everyone to be probably 120 or even wider. So we can actually go to the interior and take a look. So as far as you can see, now you can see the light in the preview viewport. Probably it's a little bit too strong, so I'd like to change that one to 3060, 600, something like this. Alright, so let's go back to the top view again. So if I want to keep this one, I just want to use this spotlight to everywhere. How can we do that? Very simple. Just click this button. This is about copy, and you can copy this one and this slide to another side. And don't forget to save your file, because when you are setting the light, it will do the instant calculation for you. So usually it will using more physical memory. Sometimes your laptop will crash. So don't forget to save it. Alright, I will create probably four or five lights for this environment, and I think for demonstrating is quite enough. Alright, probably one more. I will move this one here. Okay, something like that. So in order to manage your model scene, so I prefer you guys to put all the light into one group. So how can we do that? Right click here and go to add parents. So now as far as you can see, here is your assembly icon came up. And you can drag all of your light, hold on your control key and select all of them, drag them into the new folder. For this one as well. Probably go to here, this one we can delete and rename this one light. Alright, so now we have the spotlight. I'd like to create one more. So let's go to create light and choosing the area lighting. Area lighting basically it's a more smooth and more I think it's more smooth and more elegant lighting. So basically it can light up all the dark corner of your model scene. So let's go to the top view, rotate and click this box, go to the top view, and I want to move the plane light to the center, and let's go to transform, choosing the uniform scale. I'd like to scale up this one. Probably too large, maybe just 50 will be fine, or 40. Okay, just like this. So now let's go to the interior. So this is the area lighting right here. I'd like to change the power, probably just to 1000 would be quite enough. And for sure it has to cast a shadow. Alright, so I think that's all. I think pretty much finished. For sure there is still something detail you can do, some detail change you can do, but I will just keep like this. So let's drag this light to the light group, and finally time to see the result. So let's go to your VR viewer and take a look about the preview. Okay, so right here, here is our view. Okay, everything has been light up, but looks a little bit cold, don't you think? Because the light right now, we don't give them any color, so it will just look like this. And also for the focal length, I think it's too short. We need to change that. So let's change that again. Go to the viewport. So going to the environment, VR, and the player camera focus of viewport. Let's switch to probably maybe 100. Let's take a look. Okay, so 100 is much wider. It's a little bit different from Blender and Maya. Usually in Blender and Maya, the shorter focal length means wider regions, but it seems like different inside Simlab. Okay, so everything looks pretty cool, but a little bit too cold, but you can change that by yourself. Alright, so I think that's all for today. So for next time, let's talk about how to do the interaction and how to import your exhibits into Simlab. Alright, so see you next time.